What's up, YouTube? Lord of Houston coming at you with another video. 713 Space City Wind in the building. So before I talk about the release of Mario Edwards Jr., there's two more. I'll admit there was two things I left out of my previous video I made earlier. And the first one was Tommy Townsend signing with the Tennessee Titans on a 2-year deal worth $6 million, courtesy of Kai Kroger being acquired from the Saints, while Jake Hamill was signed to the Texans on a 2-year deal, linebacker / special teamer. My quick thoughts on this move, as Jake Hamill's or Jake Hamill, yeah, I think that's him. A good special teams bolster and possibly a rotational linebacker, to step up from time to time. Should one of those starting linebackers miss time. So, and as far as losing Tommy Townsend to the Titans, I enjoyed his time in Houston and whatnot, but, acquiring Kai Kroger was a sign of Townsend not coming back to the Texans. So I wish Townsend nothing but the best in Tennessee. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Now to the primary talk about the release of Mario Edwards Jr. Yes, it does create $4.41 million, in which leaves the Texans an opportunity to add at least another interior D line rotation. I wouldn't be surprised if we'll be in a rotational D line. Since the D line is becoming a little bit more priority now, just like the offensive line. Courtesy of losing Tim Settle, in which I would have mind keeping. Since I believe he's a little more younger than Mario Edwards Jr., who's 32, going on 33 this year. But I thought he prepped, but prior to that injury he suffered, I thought he played pretty well. He had a sack and a half, and of course he had 3 sacks in 2024, which totaled his sacks with the Texans 4.5 with the team. I think he did a pretty good job. I know he did pretty good with the tackles for losses as well. Pretty good in the run. I know it was a high praise about how ferocious that D-line was, but good thing we would sign Sheldon Rankins and brought back Togiai, but man, with the losses of Mario Edwards Jr. and Tim Settle, the Texans, they're going to have to, I wouldn't be surprised if they add some key interior D linemen through the draft this upcoming year, because, man, I want to continue to stop the run, just like the offensive line, the Houston Texans and Nick Caserio cannot afford to ignore the defensive line. Now that they lost, Tim Settle and Mario Edwards, to be exact. Now that Mario Edwards is released, I know he's still recovering from that injury and all, but whichever teams decide to sign him, I wish him the best there. So, it wouldn't be no, I put it like this, even without some big flashy names that the Texans didn't pick up, the Texans D-line still found a way to ball out. Even without the flashiest of names they picked up in past off season. So, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do so again, this year. Even though we like, the young and faster type, But, just thought I wanted to throw my 2 cents in on the release of Mario Edwards Jr. And, hey, let's see what happens, see who else the Texans pick up. So, any more news come out, I'll be back making a video about it. But until then, loyal to Houston checking on up out of here, 713 Space City. I'm out.